All right, guys, we're going to this Average Joe Sports Talk. We're going in right now. We're going to talk about the Iron Bowl this weekend, Auburn and Alabama. It's I don't know what game this is in the rivalry, but it's always we've just been talking about the stats thrown out the window right here. It's one of the most intense rivalry games in the entire country. Reggie, the first thing that people are talking about right now, obviously, is Alabama's offense. What's going to be the difference this week without Tua Tagovailoa?
I don't think you. I think you're going to kind of see a little bit of the old Alabama offense where you're going to have somebody like Mac Jones. He's going to come in and kind of manage the game the way A.J. McCarron used to. They're going to be explosive still. With Najee Harris running the ball a lot better than the offensive line's blocking better for the running backs. I think you're going to see a pretty good mixture of the run and the pass. And honestly, I think they're going to use the run to set up the pass and get those explosive plays when we need them. And being balanced like that's going to give the Auburn defense a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're ready for that. Because honestly, I don't think they know what to expect from Alabama this week, and I think that's going to work to Alabama's advantage.
Not a lot of film out on what you're going to see coming this weekend.
Yeah.
He mentioned the defense, and that's obviously a strength for Auburn this year, obviously, with that defensive line, that front seven. Kevin, what do you know about that Auburn defense?
Well, and it's going to be the best defense I think Alabama's played this year because LSU was good, but they had a tendency to give up plays. Mm-hmm. And it all depends on that front seven and how the Alabama offensive line blocks them. Now, I will say this, if there's a weakness on that Auburn defense, I would say probably the secondary, because if Jake Fromm can throw a long bomb against them, I was kind of shocked because I didn't think the defense, they must have fell asleep on that play when Jake threw that long pass. And I'm not knocking on what I'm saying, they must have not been expecting Jake to throw a long bomb like that.
Yeah.
Where Alabama's got 4 wide receivers that can, they're the point of attack right there. As soon as they catch the ball, the yards after the catch, that's where there's going to be the difference. Is can Auburn get 4 or 5 guys to the ball that quickly?
Yeah.
And if Alabama, one thing that Tua was able to do is hit those slant passes real well. Mm-hmm. If Mac Jones can hit the slant passes, then I would say Alabama needs to score probably 28 to 31 points to win this ball game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that may be probably a little bit more than they might, because Auburn hasn't given up more than. I think they've given up 24 is the most they've given up all year, and I think that was to Florida.
I think so.
Of course, they only gave up 23 to LSU.
Yeah,
they all know
LSU.
Year, yeah.
And that was in a rain fest down there. So to hold them to 23, I think the first team to get to 24 will probably win the ball game.
Yeah.
My concern is how Alabama and I hate playing at Auburn because the atmosphere down there is unlike anything you'd ever see.
Yeah.
And Gus offensively seems, no matter who, even when they're struggling, they seem to have Alabama's number for that first quarter and a half. It's just, Kirby Smart said it best a few weeks ago that you just have to figure out what they're doing offensively and ride out the first quarter and hope you don't get down 21-0.
Yeah.
And you just kind of have to figure, once you figure out what they are doing offensively, just if you just hold them the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. And I hope, and in my opinion, Alabama needs we need a defensive touchdown and we need a special teams touchdown, whether it's Waddle a punt return or we block a punt and run it back, or some kind of we need all the help we can get because and I've got confidence in Mac Jones. I think if he can throw for 250 yards, or maybe 225 somewhere. Kind of managed it and not make a lot. And of course, now let's not forget he was a 4-star when he came out of.
That's right. Yeah. A lot of people don't know it, but he committed to Kentucky before he got to Alabama.
I think he played high school ball at that Bowles High School in Jacksonville.
He did.
And
they were pretty solid.
And if you play there, you're pretty good. So.
I think we talk about the front seven, and everybody knows the front seven. They're going to make plays. Auburn's front seven is going to make plays. They're ferocious. I think what people are forgetting is Alabama's offense is a little bit underrated. You look at those guys, Jedrick Wills, Evan Neal's a freshman's grown up, Landon Dickerson at center. Since we've gotten set on this 5 that we have right now, that Alabama has, it's giving kind of a different story. They start off a little slow. The run game was suffering early on. There wasn't exactly the protection we needed. Since these 5 have been there in about the last 6 or 7 games, it's made a difference. And these guys kind of gelled, and they've come in, and they've made a name for themselves. And, a lot of things they're saying about Alabama aren't the same. The defense isn't the same. This isn't the same. Offensive line's kind of come together, and that running game's been improved the last couple of weeks. It's been solid. Buddy, what players are you looking to be different makers this week? What players are you looking at?
Well, our receiving core. I mean, they're going to have to step it up. Obviously with 2 out, and I think going for that quick long score might be out of the question right off the bat. I think they're going to have to complete some of these shorter passes. Just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers and let them do the things that they do. Waddle. And y'all saw the return the other day when I got sick. But one thing they're going to have to do, which they didn't do against LSU, they're going to have to eliminate some of these mental mistakes, some like the flood punts, the snap, catching a punt inside the 5, let it go. I mean, some of those little things, you can't pin yourself back like that against a good Auburn team.
Yeah,
at Auburn.
Right. That's right. And I think stuff like that, that's where coaching's going to come into play because Nick Saban, obviously a way better coach than Gus Malzahn. So I think this is where coaching's going to come into effect. And I guarantee you this week they are working on those mistakes that they have been making all season. And I'm sure he's been in their ear quite a bit. I'm sure he's been in their ear quite a bit.
I think the key in a game like this is, in the LSU game, it looked like, for a young team, Alabama, a lot of young guys out there, it looked like that moment was a little bit too big for them early on. The moment was too big, a lot of mistakes that aren't typical of an Alabama team, self-inflicted ones, and LSU was making plays, but Alabama had plenty of self-inflicted wounds there.
Definitely.
Made it look like the moment was a little too big. This time, is the moment going to be, is this scene going to be too big? You're talking about the atmosphere at Auburn. Is that going to be too big for them? You got a lot of young guys out there.
Well, I don't know because, this is a huge game. That LSU game was a huge game. I think, even though we had LSU at home, I think they're going to be more prepared for that moment than they were in the LSU game. I think they're going to come out focused a lot better. But like you said, Auburn, it is a tough place to play, and we usually have a slow start whenever we're playing Auburn. But the key is going to be, getting the ball, and Alabama needs to score 2 quick touchdowns and kind of set the tone for the game, and then just go from there.
So I'm wondering with Mac Jones, is that going to slow up how quickly Alabama normally scores? Is it going to be like more of a McElroy or a AJ McCarron? We're going to manage the game. We're going to do those 5-yard outs. We're just going to get the ball. We're going to move the ball. We're going to run some clock. What style of football we're going to play?
Yeah.
I think you're with Tua being gone. I think that's freeing up a guy on defense. Yeah. Because Tua was enough of a threat that you had to watch him. With Mac Jones, there's no worry about a run. Right. You got your guys back in coverage. You're going to force him to make the reads, make precise passes. Because I think Auburn's going to be able to relatively well shut down a run game with just their front 7. They're not going to do anything special. They're not going to do run stunts, whatnot. They can shut down the run game fairly effectively. Alabama may get yards here and there, but this can be tough for them to establish a long game run game in this game.
If they shut down a running game, there's no way they can double cover 4 wide receivers.
There's not.
That's going to be the key right there.
It's going to be man-to-man coverage. You would think would be what you would get because Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator for Auburn, is a genius. He's had a fantastic plan. He's had that defense rolling for a couple of years now, and that's something they've got now. Flip the ball on the other side when Auburn's on offense now. Auburn's obviously had their struggles this year. But the one thing I will say is Gus Malzahn is a genius at causing eye discipline. Yeah. You're going to have to be able to watch all this movement. You're going to have to watch motions. You're going to have to watch guys. And you never know which way the ball's going. You've got a sweep coming this way. You've got a jet going the other way. There's stuff going on. These freshman linebackers, these freshman defensive linemen, how often are they going to get caught with their eyes in the backfield? That's going to be the question. Reggie, where do you see on the Alabama defense of Auburn on offense? Where do you see the strengths and weaknesses lining up there?
Our linebackers this year, Alabama's linebackers have been questionable all year, and I think that's the key on for Alabama on defense is going to be how those linebackers are going to respond. Are they going to get in the backfield and put some pressure on Nix? Are they going to put some? Are they going to be able to stop Auburn's running game? Because if Auburn get that running game going, they can be dangerous. And will our linebackers step up and make the plays that they need to slow that offense down? Because Auburn has shown us this year that they cannot handle the big stage, big games. They had their chance against LSU, Georgia, and who else did they lost to? Florida. Yeah. 3 huge games against 3 quality ranked teams, and,
Had a tough
they
schedule. They really
had a tough schedule, and they kind of just said, hey, we can't play the big game. So Alabama's defense is gonna have to get back there and put some pressure on Nix, and don't let their run game get going.
I mean, you look at it. We were talking about earlier. I don't know what necessarily the health situation with Boobie Whitlow is. He's been back in, but he's not been the full-time guy like he was beforehand. So he is an SEC caliber running back. Boobie Whitlow is. If he can't go, you get your yards from Schwartz on the jet sweeps. You go to DJ Williams, the freshman, try to see what he can get for you. Auburn's going to have to answer some questions on how they're going to be able to try to get their running game going.
And one thing we have to look at too, I forget who number 12 is for Auburn, but they hit him on a speed sweep sometimes, and once he gets around that corner, he's getting it gone. And one thing that concerns me about the Alabama defense is getting off. With this offense, you have to be very careful getting off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah.
And that's been one of Alabama's weaknesses this year, because from game 1 to this is 12, they haven't seemed to really improve a whole lot on that. Which makes me wonder if the defensive staff is going to be back next year. And I don't mean it in a negative way. I'm not confident in them stopping Auburn on 3rd down.
Well, I mean, with all the injuries they've had on defense this year,
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta factor that in. But if I was Nick Saban, I would say, okay, we got all these guys back next year. They're healthy. Now show me what you can do with this defense. And next year, if they can't, fix what the problems we've had this year, then I say get rid of them. But yeah, that does bring up an interesting point. But you got to look at the injury standpoint too.
You look at Auburn's playmakers. I mean, we talked about the running back position. You go out wide. You've got Seth Williams. You've got Eli Stove. You've got Schwartz.
Yeah.
You've got Hastings. You've got Canella.
Schwartz is the one that's
You got Canella. And they've got weapons on the outside that Alabama's got the same problem with just about Auburn. Alabama's got to be able to body up these receivers and keep them from being able to get plays on the top, because that's what Gus is going to want to make a splash play. He's all about running the ball. He's all about keeping the ball going side to side, but he's going to want to make a splash play right here, especially early on, to get the momentum rolling and get that stadium fired up out there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Buddy, when you look at that side of the ball, do you have somebody you're looking at when Auburn's on offense, Alabama's on defense? Do you have somebody you're keying in on?
Bo Nix is the one I'm looking at. How's he going to come out? Is he going to be able to take his offense and move the ball? He hasn't done it in the big games so far. He's struggled. I'm not putting it all on him, but I'm just saying, if he comes out and he starts hitting those short routes and starts moving the ball, gets a little confidence, then if we're not able to get some pressure on him, it could be a game changer.
Absolutely.
It really could.
Absolutely. And I will say this, and I think this is the first time that I can say this all year for Alabama. I think special teams are being close to even right here. The Auburn kicking game's kind of falling on the wayside. So for once, the kicking game's almost even right here, guys.
Hey, now be careful what you say about the Auburn kicking game, because you might get blasted by parents. So, I'm just saying. I made a joke on Facebook about that, and I got hit in the inbox with some ugly comments. So watch what you say about the Auburn kicker now.
So special teams wise, you look at Alabama's gotten a little bit better in the punting game with P. Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan's come in, and he's taken that up a notch or two. Return game, I feel like going to Alabama. When you got Jalen Waddle back there, he is a game changer. He's a difference maker, and he's almost made more difference. Just because of the depth of Alabama's receiving core, he's made more difference on special teams this year than he has offense, which has been, it's been huge. That's what they need. You need that kind of a twist in this game, and like we said earlier, that may be something that makes a difference in this game if Jalen Waddle can make a spark either on a kick return or punt return. So
I think he will.
I think that's going to be a key. Just field position anyway. Even if he doesn't take one to the house, you get a 30-yard return.
Right?
You flip in field position, because sometimes it can be, instead of getting the ball in the 15, you're getting the ball in the 45 now. And that can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we're going to go to the score predictions here. We'll get it going one by one. We'll start off down there with Buddy. We'll go around the table, Buddy. What you got for the score prediction?
I'm like Kevin. I think the first one to get to 24 is probably going to win the game. So I'm going to go 24-14.
24-14.
Alabama.
Okay. 24-14.
I thought about, and I'm not saying this because I think you're right that the first one to get 24 is going to win. But I think I just got a weird feeling that fourth quarter is going to be a lot of back and forth scoring. And like I said, because Alabama's weaknesses on defense. They're susceptible to getting burned on some things because of the youth and everything. But I think Alabama will hold their own and win 31-26.
I don't think it's going to be as high of a scoring game as what we've seen in the past because both quarterbacks Both offenses, they're a little different than
Yeah.
having two of them.
That's right.
It's just a little different now. So I don't think that we're gonna 31. I could see that many points scored, but not
more
more
than
than
that,
that.
Yeah. What you got, Reggie?
As everybody knows, they know everybody knows I'm a diehard Alabama fan. This game being at Auburn worries me a little bit. The problems we've had on defense worries me a little bit. People think I'm a homer, and I'm not a homer. I try to call it how it is, and it's gonna pain me to say, and I'm gonna get. And I know some of my coworkers. Here it is. They're going to. They're going to burn me. I'm about to go with Auburn.
Whoa.
24-23. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a close one.
That might be the shock of the year right there, guys.
I know.
That might be the shock of the year.
And I don't want my.
I didn't know that.
We need medical assistance immediately.
And I know when this video drops,
Reggie is hyperventilating.
when I put this video on Twitter, there's some guys that follow us. They're an Alabama podcast. Guys, I'm calling it how it is. Don't burn me too bad. Yeah.
Gotta call it like you see
I got to
it.
call it like I see it. Like I said, we've had issues on defense all year. The game's in Auburn.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different atmosphere down there. And
Agreed. This is a different one. Yeah.
so I just
Well, I can't criticize you too bad because I had a bad feeling the week we played LSU, and I'm the closer we get to game time, I'm starting to have a bad. I'm just hoping it's just gas or something. So
I think I'm going to go. I think like all y'all said, I think this is going to be a close game. I kind of lean a little bit with Kevin over. I think there's going to be a little bit more scoring than what people think. There's a lot of people thinking this game may not get to the 20s. I kind of think it's going to go a little higher than that, and I think Najee Harris is going to be the key. I think that I don't think he's going to be able to get a lot. I don't think he can get a lot, but I see this being one of those games where he gets 26, 27 carries, gets maybe 90, 95 yards. It's going to be hard-earned yards right here. And I think he does just enough to keep that defense honest. And, it opens up the lane for Mac Jones because the playmakers Alabama's got on offense, they've got them everywhere. And you need them to make plays. They're going to have to break a play. Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, these guys, Brian Robinson, he gets in there. These guys are going to have to get in there. They're going to have to break a slant route, an out route. They're going to have to break it and go. And I think Auburn's going to be able to get their yardage on Alabama too. I'm going to say it's going to be Alabama. I'm going to say they pull away 37-27. 37-27.
I hope you guys are right. Hope you guys are right.
We may have to make a bet for Reggie if Alabama wins, guys. We may have to make something for Reggie.
No.
All right, guys. Well, whether you're a Roll Tide or a War Eagle, everybody looks forward to this week every year, and there'll be plenty of smack talk for the next 365 this next year. So
I hope it's a game where nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Everybody stays healthy on both sides.
And the fans.
Keep it civil.
There's always some craziness that happened the weekend of the Alabama Auburn game.
No trees, poison, no.
We don't want to be on the national news this year.
No gunshots, no nothing.
Just a game, guys.
Just a game.
I mean, the player. You watch the players after the game. You'll see pictures on Facebook. The players handle it a whole lot better. They're having pictures maybe with one another. I mean, because there's relationships on both sides. So.
That's right. That's right.
Just a game. Don't
Just
let
a game.
anybody hurt.
That's right. So we'll wrap this one up, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.